My next question here is that how fast do you think it will ramp the compact car?
Sure. Oh,
What do you think
yep.
about that? Oh, you have
I've got
something?
an.
Let's go for it.
I've got an answer
Let's
on that.
go. Let's go. I'm very excited about
So
this one.
the Model 3 was very difficult to ramp. When they ramped it the second time in Shanghai, it was very quick to ramp. They already knew how to do it. The Model Y ramp in Fremont, remarkably quick. And then the other Model Y ramps, fine. Shanghai went very quick. Berlin went fine. Texas went fine. Those looked slower because they were facing demand shortages. Unlike all the previous ramps where there was unlimited sky-high demand. Years of backlog if you weren't careful. The Cybertruck, we're watching it ramp pretty quickly, and it's got a whole bunch of new tech. I expect the compact will be that most of the ramp issues will be addressed in the Texas line. So the Texas line may ramp slowly, but they'll get it dialed in so that when they replicate it into Mexico or China or Berlin or wherever they decide to go, it will ramp very quickly in those places. So I think Texas production will be slow-ish. Texas is also much smaller than the intended full-scale factories, but that once they go to these other locations, it'll be China quick.
And the way they're going to be doing it is when they mentioned it in, I think it was Investor Day, how they're going to be building it in a whole different way. And as Elon says, it's going to be revolutionary in the car. So would it be crazy to say that the very first year that they manufacture this vehicle, they can make at least 100,000 in production in the first year?
Not crazy at all. That's not. I mean, the
go.
first full year.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, not crazy at all. Oh,
So you're
yeah.
thinking more, like 200,000-300,000.
Well, I don't know the number over 100, but 100. I mean, that's
Wow.
2,000 a week. They wouldn't start there, but they would finish if they start at 0 and finish at 4,000 a week. That's 100,000. That's if a smooth ramp is what you're getting, then that's 100,000. So
That's going to be exciting.
and that is again just from Texas, which would be the smallest of the compact factories.
No, that's going to be exciting. I do expect to, sure, 2024, maybe only 300,000 or 400,000 units will be added on, 2.2 million. 2025, maybe closer to 2.5, 2.6. But then in 2026 and onwards, when we have this thing ramping up, I see a massive spike in just production and just a big jump from that year onwards. It's going to be insane.
That's what I'm looking at too. Is a lot of people say, well, they're out of products, they're out of ideas. No, they're in the phase where they're building for the next thing, which is the compact. And while compacts are not super popular in the US, globally they're very popular. They're like the most popular cars worldwide. The most popular form factor is compact because they are the most affordable, the easiest to park, there's a lot of benefits, and not everyone needs a ton of cargo and hauling space. In the US, the reason you don't see a lot of compacts is because US automakers have kind of stopped building. And even when they were building them, they made them to not be appealing. They wanted you to step up to the next best thing. And I think Tesla would take the opposite approach. They'd go, like when Kia came out with their coupe, the little Veloster, they made it fun, they made it exciting, they made it compelling, and it sold. The US big automakers don't like doing that. That's fine. Don't do it. No one's going to force you to do anything you don't want to do. But Tesla will make a compelling car, and electric cars should be cheaper than gas cars. They should be simpler. And as the technology continues to improve, we are seeing that happening. And then throw on top of that the credit you get for building the battery pack on the back end, and then the additional credit on the buyer side, you could be looking at a $10,000 discount.
That's crazy.
Price.
Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. I think it was, if the car is going to come out 25,000 and there's a 7,500 credit on that, that's and if you got the state that has 4,000 on top of that as incentive, geez, why would you pick something else? Yeah.
And the 25,000 looks a lot more possible when you've got domestic batteries that, if it's a 50 kilowatt hour pack, paid you $2,500 on the back end.
Yeah. And what's crazy about this is that a lot of short-term investors, they don't see this. They just panic and they just go look on what the stock is now. They look at, there's no more demand. My goodness, they just have to look another 2 years and things are going to change very fast. I'm very excited.
When I bought my Tesla shares in May of 2019 for
Wow.
188, I was so excited. I told a buddy of mine, and he said I wouldn't touch that stock with a 10-foot pole. And as it turns out, he can't afford a 10-foot pole. So that's I followed the company closely enough to see something he couldn't, and I still see that today. And you know what? After I bought it, it dipped. There were times when it dipped. And I was like, oh, did I make a mistake? But I'm not here for the 1 week. I saw people who said to me when it hit 400, oh, I bet you wish you sold then, don't you? I said, no, because if I was the kind of person who would have sold at 400, I'm also the kind of person who would have sold at 200. Ha ha, I made $12. Look at me. I'm not a trader. I'm an investor.